Okay, let's look at the different things. So what is up to date and what is not? You said the trailer was good, but the screenshots were not up to date, right? Different play areas, chain ×2, many animals. Okay. I have a few suggestions for the trailer, honestly. But let's look at the rest before, and we'll see. Pop adorable animals in Zooika, a fun casual puzzle game. Combine critters to create new ones, easy to learn but tricky to master. Fun casual puzzle game. Would you describe it as a puzzle game, though? Would you describe it as a puzzle game? Maybe. I'm not sure. Maybe you can put that it's like physics based in here. So one thing that is important is in your short description, people don't really care about most of the stuff in here. People won't care about it. Like maybe they will care about combined critters, but I think they will understand quite easily because they know Zooplop or Zooika game or other games like that. So what is important for them is this part, right? Basically, they're looking for what type of game it is. They're trying to understand what the type, what the genre is, to know if it's going to fit what they like or not. So I would recommend to take a look at other Zooika games and see how they describe it, because you don't want to. Basically, what I'm trying to say in here is that the Zooika style is relatively casual, I would say. And I'm afraid that if you describe it as a puzzle game, people might be afraid. And they might not understand that it's quite casual, right? So, you of course, you're saying it, right? You're saying casual puzzle game, but people will care about puzzle, right? They will care about puzzle. They will see puzzle. That might be a bit frightening. But yeah. That being said, I think it's okay. About features, you need some GIFs in here. Definitely. I think it's cool. So my idea on that is, it's cool to have a banner like that. But why would it need to be animated? You see what I mean? So I think you can keep the image. And I understand it's supposed to be wood, but it looks kind of dark, so is it that appealing? I'm not sure. Maybe remove the eye and the icons. Just use text, because this looks like a button, and maybe because it is a button from your game. Maybe not, but I don't think you need the icon in here. I think text would be enough. I would not make it move. I don't think it's needed, but I would add some small GIFs, because people look at two things. They look at the trailer. Maybe they will not even finish it. They will eventually skim through a bunch of the screenshots. Skimming through the screenshot is to understand what is the content of the game, right? So the screenshots, if you have, for example, multiple areas and stuff like that, you should show it in the screenshots, because this is why people are going through the screenshots, to know what kind of content am I expecting, right? So they go through the screenshots. Eventually, they look really fast at the description to understand what the type, what type of game it is, and then they go in here. They scroll a bit and they look at it, but they will never go through each point and read stuff like that, like multiple different animal sets, time challenge mode, order challenge mode. The thing is, when you're listing stuff like that, for example, you might think it's useful. Mas Conrad, hello, thank you for the follow. You might think it's useful, but people don't know what it is, right? People don't know what it is. Time challenge, order challenge, target challenge. I mean, yeah, you can understand, but I think you can show some of that using GIFs. So I would personally put more GIFs inside of here that are like focused on a few things. Like maybe you show a very cool moment where a bunch of them are getting mixed together, and maybe you just show the beginning, like how do you input the game, that you move the thing left to right and you choose where to drop it. Like the GIFs are a very good way to teach players, potential players, what your game is going to be about and how it's going to play, right? Hasn't written the challenge modes yet. Yeah. So, yeah. What I'm trying to say is, I don't think you need a super interesting description, right? You don't need to put a lot of stuff in the description. I think you should make it more visual. And listing a bunch of features is not necessarily doing what you think it's doing. Like you might think it makes it interesting, but it might make it, like, you might read the thing and be like, meh, it's boring. Like, yeah, okay, there's achievements and leaderboards. I can see it in here, in fact. There's an actual section in here, achievements and leaderboards. Do I need to know that? Do I need to know that there is dynamic music and effects? Do I need to know that? I'm kind of expecting it. You see what I mean? I'm kind of expecting it. Hard to show them when they don't exist, but yeah, let's text it. Yeah, okay, I see what you mean. Okay, fair enough. So, for now, as a placeholder, having the text to say, hey, you are going to be seeing multiple challenge modes, why not? Another way to show the same thing as this without having to show it with text, maybe make a fake like interface with like 3 buttons with the names on them, and you just show this GIF where the mouse cycles through the 3 buttons, and that way you've shown it, right? You see what I mean? I don't know. I would make it a bit more alive. That's what I'm trying to say. I think it's the most important thing. Maybe you put like 2 or 3 GIFs that are showing what your game is about. And this is going to be much more interesting than having a bunch of copywriting that people don't really care about. Again, multiple different animal sets. Probably you don't have it right now, right? Probably you don't have it yet. But otherwise, a very nice GIF that is doing basically a zoom in on multiple animals, and it's like switching between multiple animal sets. That's a way better way of showing it, right? I've been doing some fake sequences like that would be good. Yeah, exactly. Joyeux Noël, ou devrais-je dire joyeuse fête païenne, qui a été reprise. Peacebreaker, how are you doing, my guy? Welcome and happy holidays. Merry Christmas to you. Welcome. We are looking at the page from Vex. And, okay, more like this. Something is telling me that you did not do the tagging very well, right? This is something that you might not be aware of. I don't know. On the Steam backend, you know, you can tag your game using the tag wizard stuff. Spend some time to make sure that the result of the tagging shows games that are similar to your game. Because right now, more like this, showing Cult of the Lamb, Web Fishing, Cuphead. Seems weird, right? Seems weird. We should be seeing Zooplop, Suka games, or more casual games, right? Those are not casual games. We should not be seeing that, right? So overall, what I would say, I think this is nice. This is okay. I can go back to, so overall I think, yeah, you just need a bit more put your animals in here. Be proud of your animals. That's what I'm trying to say. because the game is about animals, put some animals in here. Why not? Why not have an about and feature section animated, but with an animal popping in and out, for example, instead of having just something that wiggles like that? Why not? Be proud of what you have, which is the animals, I would say. And last thing I wanted to talk about, the trailer. I have one problem with the trailer. I have one big problem with the trailer. The text is too much in our face, and at the same time can be hard to parse, because we also have text inside of the game at the same time. You see what I mean? So for example, if we look at the sequence at the beginning, you start with a strong sequence. First of all, that's a good thing, I think, right? The name of the game at the beginning, for so long, I think it's useless. People don't care yet. Right now, we are in 4 seconds in. People don't care yet about who you are or about what the game is. They don't care about that. You need to convince them. Right now, what you did with that zoom in and this intense action at the beginning is that you hooked them. So that's very good. I would keep it that way. You're hooking them, and now they need to understand what's happening. So instead of cutting to your name, instead of cutting to the name of the game, you want to start explaining what the game is. Of course, they might be familiar with Zooika games, so they probably understand, but you never know. So you explain to them, right? Very cool. So let's see. Imagine that we cut that part. We arrive in here, and what do we see? Okay, what is the game? Steam achievements. No. Why? You see what I mean? I'm a new player. I'm a potential player. I'm interested. I just got hooked by the first action, and now I'm like, okay, what is the game about? You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make it I'm going to look at it in bigger. Give me a second. Copy video address. Yes, thank you. Because it's not very useful to see it in here. All right, perfect. This is much better, and that way you can skim through. So after you cut that part, we arrive in here, and now I want to understand what is the game. Steam achievements. No. First of all, because if you really want to talk about Steam achievements, you should talk about it at the very end of the trailer. Second thing, I don't think you should talk about Steam achievements. Why? Because again, it's kind of expected. Like you as a player on Steam, you expect the game to have achievements. You can't be proud of having achievements as a developer, having achievements and stuff. It's really cool, and congrats for doing that. The players, they don't fucking care. They expect it. And again, if they really want to know, they will look in here, and it's written Steam achievements, right? It's not a feature. It's not an important feature enough to talk about it. I know it's not just achievements, it's also leaderboards. But again, follow my logic. Why would I care about that? I still don't know what the game is. So, you still have to convince me, and right now I'm not convinced. At the same time, we have another problem. The readability of what is happening. We have some text in here, right? White text. And on the background, we have some red text with some outline. Both of them are at the exact same spot. It's fighting. It's fighting for our attention. It's actually very difficult to understand what's happening. Especially, again, remember that when someone is watching your trailer, they're watching it like this. Like this. Okay, they're looking at some stuff. Maybe they even like scroll. Okay, cool. They go back to the trailer. They move a bit. They read it in here. They look at that. Okay, it's enough, and they move on to something else. Or maybe they just saw it on the internet, like while browsing Reddit or whatever. They don't even go on your Steam page to watch it. So, again, you need to make it incredibly simple. So, let's continue. Let's see. Multiple challenge mode? Why not? I think the order is wrong. I would talk about I would talk about what exactly you need to do. The way I would do it, imagine this is your viewport. You make the camera zoom in like that. You make it zoom in like that. You follow a an animal, right? You make it really fast. You make it move left or right. Then you drop it. You follow it during the drop. The camera follows, right? The camera will follow during the drop. And then when we see the animal colliding with another animal, there's a merge. And so now maybe you zoom out and you see the merge. You see what I would do? This would tell the player what the game is about instantly without having to try to explain, oh, you move the animal where you want and you drop it. You just show the movement, boop, you drop it, and script, and it does. And maybe it creates a chain reaction or whatever. That could be cool. Then you hook to the player, you explain to the player what the game was about, then you explain why your game is different. So you show the different elements, you show the different animals. You can clearly have a bunch of cuts where you show multiple merges going in a very satisfying way, starting from simple merges to like bigger merges, and you finish with like the elephant, which is the bigger one, and you can put that on the beat or something, and it does prup, 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 and there's something satisfying in here. Then you can show that you have different areas, different game modes, etc. But you need to do crescendo, right? You need to guide the player, and right now you're not doing that. Right now you're just putting stuff. And not even in the right order, I think. You kind of have that. You kind of have what I'm saying right now with the match cuts and stuff, right? You kind of have what I'm talking about with this idea of zooming in and showing multiple merges happening one after the other. But be critical of what you're seeing, right? Be critical of what you're seeing. And tell me if you think this is easy to parse. There's stuff everywhere. There is stuff everywhere. We don't even know what to look at exactly, right? What I'm seeing right now, because this is in the middle of the screen and this is big, I'm always just looking at the elephant and I'm not looking at the rest. I don't even understand what's happening. I think for the trailer, it's fine to remove some of the effects and focus exactly on what is happening, or like create a specific setup where you're going to have exactly the kind of merges that you want. And you need to have like one thing happening at a time on the screen. Otherwise people can't follow. Especially since, again, they're going to see your thing in very little like that from a distance. So now they have what? They have text on the screen, particles. We zoom in, but we don't really know where, right? You see what I mean? Your zoom in is zooming where? Constantly it's zooming in here. We don't know what's happening. Following the animal drop was something I did, the 3-second trail on Blue Sky, where you're saying does make sense. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Because in 3 seconds, you have to show exactly what the game is about, so you show the animal dropping, right? Give me all the points. Yeah, give me those. And at the end, so imagine we do that, blah, blah, blah. And at the end, you finish with this, with the name of your game. Honestly, that's fun. Honestly, that's fun. I think you can push it slightly further. You can take that idea, you can take that exact idea and push it slightly further. You can take your texture, your logo, put it inside the engine as a rigid body, and you can drop it inside of your game, right? In here. That way you can match the game scene with the end. And you can maybe drop it as like a rigid body, and it drops, and that way it's not exactly perfect, and it's kind of interesting. It gives us something to look at, and then you have all of the other animals that are falling down, and it makes a nice impression at the end of the trailer. It's like a little something fun that people can, again, they can hook themselves onto this idea at the end, right? They've been hooked at the beginning, and now they are going to hook themselves on the idea, because you're going to reinforce the idea that everything is physics-based in the game, and that it's about those animals. And so you're looking at that and you're like, oh, you're right. It makes it sure for the viewer that this is physics, that this is about physics, and they see the name of the game, and they might even like create a connection more easily in their head because they've seen the name of the game like fall down as a physics object. So it's not just Zooika, it's, oh yeah, it's that physics game with like the little animals and stuff. You see what I mean? And you have the wish list now, you have the call to action, perfect. And you have some interesting things happening. Yeah, this is nice. But I think it's not necessarily super difficult, right? I really like the constructive criticism of Mr. Iptic, very useful help. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Also means you have a lot of reworking to do. I don't think Vex, you necessarily have a lot of reworking to do. I mean, yes, you have to change the trailer from with what I'm saying, but I think what you have to keep in mind is that you already have the game, so it's mostly about how you're going to present the game to the player. So you have the elements. It's just that you have to go and record specifically the things that you need. But it's not like you have to change the entirety of the game, right? You have to go and get those specific things to make sure you can arrange the trailer in a nice way. But I think you're not too far. It's just that you're making small mistakes, which are detrimental to show the idea of your game, right? I think it is. And just like technically, to talk about the form more than the content itself, I think your text is slightly too big. It's good to have big text because people will watch it on mobile and they won't necessarily have, like right now I'm watching in a big screen, so it's easy, but they won't necessarily see stuff. But look at it. When you think about it, you have a lot of text, but because it's animated quite slowly, and also while you're animating this, the other part is also disappearing, in the end, it means that your text actually was visible on screen for like maybe 1 second or 2, but it took like 5 seconds to appear and disappear. And also now it looks quite weird because you have the end leaderboards that is still visible, even though the rest of the thing is gone. Honestly, one of the best example of a trailer with text on it is the one from Hades, I think. Because they're doing two things. They're putting the text in front of your face for like a second or two, and then they're keeping it at the bottom, at the top of the screen. So look at that. Look at that. Boom. Fighting a godlike. Oh no, they don't do it in this one. Sorry, they don't do it in this one. Maybe Hades, they have multiple trailers and this one doesn't do it correctly. Maybe on Hades 2 trailer it's better though. Might be better on Hades 2. Let me see. It was a very good example of how to use text. Things you said make sense. There are things I haven't thought about properly. Yeah, don't worry. And also it's totally normal, right? Don't take my criticism as a way to tell you what you did was wrong. It's just when you have a Steam page, I think it's totally normal to go through iterations. You make the Steam page, then you make it better, you rework it, etc., etc. Throughout the lifetime of the game, you will modify the Steam page. It's totally normal. It's to be expected, right? It's not a set and forget. Otherwise, there is something wrong with your game, I think. Because your game is going to evolve, your understanding of the game is going to evolve, the way you present it to people is going to evolve. Like maybe you start posting your trailer here and there. Maybe people give you feedback. Maybe someone says, "Oh yeah, that part was really interesting," and then you emphasize that. So I think it's totally normal to just rework it from time to time. It's a constant evolution. The same way the game is in constant evolution, right? They don't put text in this one. What the fuck? Where is it? I'm pretty sure it's there. I'm pretty sure it's there. Let's go. Look at that. Boom, you start. Become an immortal witch, and then it stays at the top. Slightly animated and stuff to make it look cool. Boom, battle down to hell. Oui. Le pauvre Mimi. Donne, je lui donne si tu veux. Non, il y en a plus là. Alright, I was giving some food. Look at that, battle down to hell, and it stays at the top. And then up to the heavens, and it stays at the top. Why is this good? Why is this good? Design-wise, it looks like shit, right? Design-wise, I would hate to do that. I was clearly against text in trailers a few months ago, and then I realized why they were putting text in here. No matter where you go, no matter how you skim through the trailer, you will have the text visible. So you know where you are. You know what the trailer is talking about. And remember, most people will not sit through your trailer with sound on a big screen, looking at everything and stuff. Most people will see it in very bad conditions, on their phone, in the bus, without sound. They will skim through it, etc, etc. So you want to make it easier for them. The trailer is to make it easier for them, right? The trailer is to convince people to take a look at your game. It's not necessarily to tell them, hey, you should buy my game, but it's convincing them that it's interesting enough and it's also a good fit for them. That's why you have text, because it tells you what it's going to do. You have a bunch of weapons, and then they're showing you what you have, and they're showing you very clearly. This is all the beginning of the game, right? It's not even advanced in the game. It's just the beginning of the game. Master Witchcraft. Boom, this is something new this is something very new in Hades. So they're trying to make it very clear that you're going to have something new compared to Hades 1. And boom, they're showing you. Shpoop, they're showing you exactly what you're doing. They're showing you who you're going to fight, a bunch of different fights. You see, you don't have a lot of time to see, but you see that you have different bosses to fight. It's a very good trailer, right? It's a very good trailer, I think. Boom, they're also showing you a new important thing in Hades, that you have some like crafting to do or stuff like that. This is good. I think this is exactly what you should be doing. I don't know if we have Zooplop as a... Zooplop? No, Zooplop. Boop, 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 boop. Zooplop sounds like that. Boop, 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 boop. Boop, 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 boop. Look at the way they're describing the game. Merge smaller animals into bigger ones. That's it. You've explained the game. You've explained the game, and then they're using emojis. How big can you go? Can you reach the whale? Can you merge the whale? That's it. They actually told you what it was going to be about. Is the trailer good? I didn't watch it. Maybe it is good. The trailer starts interesting. That way it hooked you in. It shows you the different modes that are going to be in here, I guess. It shows you very clearly that there is a leaderboard without having to tell you. They could put some text, honestly. They even have some space at the bottom or at the top. They have a bit of a spot. Boom, they're showing you that there's high score, and that's it. Zooplop with the thing. The trailer is not incredible, but the trailer is very simply explaining really fast, straight to the point, what the game is about. And I think this is kind of what is missing in your trailer. All right. Well, that was a lot. I hope you appreciate it. That was a lot. But yeah, let's go. Continue to improve. Continue to improve. That's the best thing you can do. Improve, improve, improve.